All right, Tom, thank you. Well, it may be hundreds of miles away, but banks collapsing on the coast have many of us talking and thinking about our own banks. THV 11's Ian Russell sat down with some of the biggest banks in our area and explains why staying calm is the best plan.
Hearing news about two banks collapsing over the weekend is concerning for a lot of us. It's scary to think that I wouldn't be able to get my money out of the bank, but should it be a concern? Well, officials at Simmons Bank tell us not really, and your money's actually a lot safer now than it was even a couple years ago.
Hundreds of miles from the chaos, Bob Fellman is keeping a close eye.
They really spent time with customers during the day, really just to calm some of those fears.
As CEO of Simmons Bank, news of collapse is scary, whether it's here in Arkansas or across the country. Over the weekend, two banks, Silicon Valley Bank in California and Signature Bank in New York, fell, leaving more questions than answers for their stakeholders.
This was a special niche bank that both of them were, and they focused on high deposit customers.
What happened to those banks is simple. They saw a run. Basically, too many people took out too much money at once, and the bank couldn't keep up. What's also simple, Fellman says, should be our reaction. He says, don't panic.
The money is safe in the banks. You know, it's not safe bringing it home and putting it under your mattress.
Fellman isn't the only one urging stability. Mark Wilson is the president of First Arkansas Bank and Trust. He says the chances of something like this happening in Arkansas are low, thanks to regulations we have in place.
It makes you wonder what their regulators were doing. It's like if you see a toddler running out in the street, you wonder what their parents are doing.
Even if something were to happen, Wilson says your money would be safe.
The first $250,000 of your deposits are guaranteed by the FDIC. You don't have to worry about it, even if a bank totally collapses.
It's scary to think that a bank could just shut down, but both Wilson and Fellman say here in Arkansas, all signs point to the green.
But overall, the banking industry is as strong as it's been in a long time. It's asset quality is good, capital is good, and liquidity is good in the whole banking industry.
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
Ian, thank you. And now that the federal government has stepped in to save customers of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, the next step is investigating to find out why the banks collapsed in the first place. CBS reports Silicon Valley Bank was operating without a chief risk officer for months before one was hired in January. The White House stressed that executives and investors for both banks will not be bailed out.